경기장 도시형.
Hey, look at that. It is not Stork. That is actually going to be mTw TT1. We forgot to announce it before the game started, but yeah, it is actually TT1 playing as the pink Protoss player on the left side of the map, Sand, Short, and Mist, and on the right side in the red is again our Terran BratOK. If he wins this game, imbaFXO wins. If TT1 can win the game, then mTw will go ahead to the next round. And yeah, not surprised at all to see TT1 sporting the Stork tag on his alternate account. He was, you know, of course, a big fan, so
yes,
cool to see that.
And I was under the impression that the first game, even though it was played on Tamago's account, was played on the NA server. Every game since then has been played on EU. So most people are using their normal tags now from here on out. So this is Sand, Short, and Mist, of course. Pretty cool map. It's very rotationally symmetrical, even though it's a two-player map. As you can see, you kind of go from main to natural to third, and you keep expanding down and around towards your opponent, and your opponent kind of does the same thing, only going along the top. There are also a couple of island expansions, but truthfully, despite being island expansions, the only time I've seen them come into play is actually in a PvP, which ended up in a base race where people flew to the islands. It was kind of crazy and ridiculous and really fun.
I like island maps. I'm glad we finally have a map in the pool with them again.
Now, I don't know if this is the IPL version or not, because I know our version just had one Zelnaya tower. Now, of course, if both teams play on a particular version of the map and it's not ours, but they both accept the result, no call for regame, then we abide by that. We're not going to make them replay just to have it on our map. Yes, Space Shark. But so this is a little bit different version, as it does have 3 Zelnaga towers. Ours just has 1.
It's a lot of Zelnaga towers on this. I mean, whoever controls those are going to be able to see a lot of the map.
Yeah.
It's going to be nearly impossible to kind of move across the map without being seen if a certain player is able to kind of take control of that. So yeah, that's something that could have a big impact in this game.
And it looks like nothing too out of the ordinary for TT1 quite yet. His opponent, BratOK, though, of course, did go for that 15 gas once again. He's been doing the exact same thing every game. And this poor SCV, it'd be very difficult for him to make his way back home.
I hate probes. You know, there's no unit in StarCraft 2 that I hate more than the probe, for this very reason. All they like to do is just harass SCVs. All he was trying to do is build a building, man. I mean, come on. This probe deserves to die. Kill that probe. Kill it.
Pretty good control back and forth for both our players there, though.
I hope that probe dies.
Well, he's running away, but such anger from you, man.
Any Terran feels my same anger. I can tell you that without a shadow of a doubt.
All right. Well, we do have a tech lab being added to this barracks here. So we've seen BratOK go a couple of different ways with this. We've seen him go right into Marauder and Concussive Shell and try and hit a quick timing in the game. We've also seen him go for fast upgrades here. He is doing the same. It's against all races, though. It's the same general idea. Barracks on normal time, 15 gas, and then expand on the low ground as you get an add-on for your first structure. So.
Yep, looks like it will be a Marauder expand from imbaFXO.BratOK, getting those concussive shells. So we'll have to see if he decides to make another barracks or two and do some sort of push with this, too. I mean, you do see it every once in a while.
And let's see here. Quick expand out of TT1 as well. Have to get that last jab in there. All right, now we do have a Space Shark. Space Shark is keeping tabs on the probe, though. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it. All right, so let's see here. Concussive Shell's about to finish. Barracks number 2 and 3 being added on now.
Yep, so going to go into a little bit of 3 barracks play. Generally, that's kind of the mode of things. You get your 3 barracks, and you either have to decide, do I want to go for some sort of early ghost push, or do I want to get the medevacs, do some sort of drop play, and make sure my bio units are healable with stims. So we'll have to see what BratOK decides to do. And, hey, all right. That's what I like to see. I think that was the same probe.
Yeah,
I hope it was.
Okay. It was.
He deserved it. He deserved it.
And the Stalker trying to scurry away as well, as Concussive Shell has been revealed.
Yeah.
And if that Concussive Shell catches up to a Stalker there, it will die. It will not be able to run away from the grasp of the Marauders. Second gateway and third gateway being added now. And fourth gateway. Of course, TT1 historically has been known for his very strong gateway timings. And we'll see if that's going to hold true here.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you go that 4-gate, it's a very safe way to expand. It keeps you really safe. You can put some pressure on your opponent, of course, as well later on with that. And you can see BratOK just kind of doing a little bit of a poke. You don't want to overcommit with this because it's so easy to lose your units in such small numbers early on in TVP.
And he's going after the heavy upgrade route now. Sometimes we'll see players scores 3 racks straight into mTw, something along those lines. Nope, it is going to be an engineering bay for now as he throws on 2 more reactors. So heavy Marines in this bio composition.
I like the engineering bay too. I mean, it's not a big investment. It keeps you safe. You can kind of think of it the same way as a Zerg player getting an early Evo chamber. And even if the Protoss doesn't go for like Stargate or DTs or something, you can get your upgrades going. And at least you've got the vision there as well. Yeah, TT1 doing a job putting that pylon on the low ground there to watch for any sort of drops. That's something that you can easily miss sometimes on this map.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that helicopter landing pad, as it's been called by a few people here. And let's see, we do have a factory coming up now. Missile turret, yeah, just up at the front. He's afraid of DTs. We know that those aren't going to hit. There's not even a Twilight Council down there quite yet. Both players playing a little bit slower now, a little bit passively. Scan goes down to reveal exactly what TT1 has.
Yep. And TT1 has kind of been, I think he has a good idea of what BratOK is going for. When I talked with him quite a bit in Korea, one thing he always said is he said, if I'm not sure what the Terran is going for, I just get a forge and I put a cannon in my mineral line. You can see, you know, if you watch TT1 play, he'll do it quite a bit. You know, if he's not quite sure, he'll do it just to stay safe against things like Banshees and whatnot. It helped him win against Nada way back when in the World Championships. But it looks like these days he's going for a little bit of Warp Prism action, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
A lot of Protoss players have been trying that.
Of course, cut a little bit of production in terms of his pure offensive units as he actually techs up to Robo Bay. So
cool.
Using this as a way to safely get up to Colossi, and he's going to put on a little pressure at the same time. BratOK actually possibly going to have a Marine in place to intercept that Warp Prism, depending on the path it takes.
Yeah, well, this Warp Prism into Colossus is something that's been really popular on the Korean server lately in PvT. Especially, like, right before I left Korea, everybody was running into it.
Ooh.
So, okay.
All right, Sentry drops.
Oh, but look at that. imbaBratOK ready. Oh, but is he going to see it? Oh, just barely misses it. No, he does catch a glimpse of it. Now the question is, was he watching his mini-map to actually see it? I don't know. The factory going down there, but that may not necessarily mean anything.
Right, not shifting any units right now.
Yeah, I don't know if he caught a glimpse of that or not.
Okay, well, looks like this factory
should see it with his factory at least.
Yeah, let's see here. It's going to get into view pretty quickly. No!
Oh, he misses it. So I don't think BratOK knows this is coming. No response yet at all from him. So, yeah, I think he missed it. I don't think he saw it on the minimap when it went past his Marine.
Okay, well, here comes the Warp Prism now. BratOK has run all of his units. Oh, wait, no. Okay, he was just gathering up into the medevac there. That's why most of the units were shifting for a second.
Yeah,
oh, but look at this. He's actually going to have his units in a medevac ready to... No, okay, just running away with them.
Oh, TT1 catching a good amount of SCVs there, but is he going to be able to really kill them?
Well,
nice
let's see here.
Getting the units in, and TT1... Oh, wow. That was dangerous to pick up that last sentry.
Oh, leave no man behind.
That must have been like Vice President sentry or something for him to risk everybody else to go back and get him. Wow.
TT1 actually has pretty ridiculous control of the map right now. As you can see, pylons and such stationed everywhere, so we can warp in pretty much anywhere and be well prepared. But that medevac's going to make its way in. There's not a lot sitting here for TT1 to defend.
Yep, the drop play from BratOK could certainly do some damage. He needs to be careful, though, to watch for things like this. No Vikings yet produced either, so he doesn't really know that the Colossi are on the way. And he could be caught a bit unawares here. I don't know. I kind of question TT1's decision to move out on the map with just one Colossi, because this is kind of the precise timing where Terran usually wants to move out on the map and take advantage of the fact that Protoss only has one Colossi, so or Colossus rather. So I'm a little bit confused by TT1's decision. We'll have to see how it all plays out.
He is way out of position right now as well. Looks like he may get a few units that are caught off guard by BratOK's attack through the front, and BratOK just going to back away to him because he's just pulling those units farther and farther away. Already a bunch of workers have gone down. 11 have been killed.
Wow.
Looks like TT1 going to start chasing this army back at home, but he is not warped in anything yet. There we go. A few stalkers finally, but these pylons are going to die in the process, depowering a lot of production.
No kidding. Yeah, it really does here, and he's killing even more probes. TT1's army kind of stuck out on the map, and I don't know. I mean, the supply is dropping really quickly for TT1.
Oh my God. 31 workers killed.
Ouch. Wow. That's one of the most successful drops of all time, I think. Jeez.
Yeah. All right, that is a difficult position now for TT1 and thus mTw. A few supply depots are going to go down at the front. The bunker is actually not repaired right now. We're just waiting on a couple of Vikings to pass from the side here.
Yeah, he's waiting for the flank. He's actually letting the depots die a little bit so he can get in there. Nice force fields from TT1, though. That may actually work pretty well for our Protoss. It's so close. Enough Vikings out now for BratOK, though. I think BratOK, once these force fields go by, is going to be able to tear through this army. Yeah, TT1 knows it, too. He's pulling back.
Yeah, and it looks like a few stim units are starting to run out. The Colossus is probably going to be first to fall. There it is. Gets target down. Not that many units sitting on the ground now. TT1 going to lose everything.
Yeah, really dangerous decision to move out like that for TT1, and he paid for it.
He does catch up in workers killed, though, because of his attack. So we are kind of drawing even at the moment. Of course, TT1 is way ahead on workers, but unfortunately hasn't been able to realize all of his production quite yet.
Well, if I were TT1 right now, I would be really, really worried about a counterattack. He knows that his opponent beat his army and has a lot left over, and you can see BratOK moving down right away to try to take out a possible third that's there. He's not going to see it. He's going to run right into the natural. And I don't know if TT1's going to be able to defend it. Only 2 sentries with not a lot of energy there.
All right. Well, let's see. There are quite a few units sitting here now for BratOK. This Colossus, if it engages in a little choke point in here with a couple of force fields, could be devastating. But TT1, I don't know. This is uncomfortable for him. There's a couple of medevacs here. BratOK could split up and start to ferry onto the high ground.
Yeah, well, I mean, TT1 is in trouble in a lot of different ways. One is that his army really can't engage right now. Another is that he can't expand. And another is that BratOK can expand. You know, TT1 is going to need to spend everything he's got on units right now just to stay alive, while BratOK can get units and upgrades. Things just looking really bad right now for TT1.
All right, well, let's see here. As there are 3 command centers down now, so BratOK has actually started to catch up quite well in terms of workers. It was 21 to 42. Now it's 34 to 46, and of course there are mules on the ground, so that income not looking all that much different anymore.
Well, BratOK playing things really safe. Doesn't want to overcommit and risk kind of putting himself back in a bad situation here.
Sure. And let's see here. Is this pylon going to fall here in just a second? Looks like a few units actually coming out now for TT1. Looks like he wants to trap this army.
Yeah, we'll see how he can. The Colossi in front there, he needs to be a little bit careful. Supply block, too, by BratOK. BratOK, yeah, big stim to run away there.
And is he just going to position himself on the high ground? Looks like he will. He catches one Colossus out in the open. The second is going to fall very quickly as well. And that means that this army for TT1 is just basically worth nothing.
Oh, man. Worst engagement possible for TT1, unfortunately. And BratOK is not going to have any trouble at all cleaning the rest of this out. Great Viking positioning. GG from TT1.